Welcome to my channel, to everyone who's new here, and of course to those of you who are back again. Great to have you here. Bitcoin is currently trading at 84,235 US dollar. In this video we will take a look together at possible scenarios for the price development of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Things remain exciting, so make sure to watch until the end. You will also find another video on my channel where I analyze various altcoins daily. That's definitely worth checking out too. And if you also want to trade with cheap fees, then I can recommend you mexc. mexc is rank 10 in the global ranking of the crypto exchanges and has a similar trading volume to Bitget and Bybit. The taker fees, I have looked again, it's not 0.01%, it's 0.02%, but it's still far more cheaper than the top exchanges. And also 100 pairs, zero fees just on mexc. And here you can see a handful of coins, which we also talk about daily. For example, ONDO, Solana, HBAR, Sui, Cardano, and Render. So what about Bitcoin? I have drew a circle here. I think I haven't talked about it in yesterday's video. We had there a fair value gap. We didn't close it 100%. We still have a bit left here. Yeah, but it was a bigger fair value gap, which we closed with yesterday's push to the upside. I think the push is now done for Bitcoin. We also broke the $84,580 to the downside with that 1 hour candle close. And here we got the retest. Maybe we can even get with our current candle a bit more up. But I would say the 83,415 US dollar. They are very essential to hold if we want to be bullish on the short term. I still think that since we broke both of those green trend lines to the upside, that we have a break of structure. So I think the low, which we had here, is set, and I think this is going to be our low and we can reach for higher prices. But still, I'm in my short positions. I have took my short positions, one here and the second one here. So I lowered my average price. My Bitcoin trade is currently in profit. My other altcoin trades, some are in losses still, as some are in profit. So I'm currently break even on all my trades. And I still think that we are going to get a pullback. But this pullback is not going to be a lower low for Bitcoin. That's what I think at the moment, because the chart is telling me that. So the 83,400 US dollar, if they break to the downside, then I think we can drop to $81,200. But I would actually change that support a little bit and make it a bit higher, because here we have so many more touch points. And that would be, if I do a price tag here now, the 81,330 US dollar. I think that is going to be my first take profit, because I think there is a chance also high that we get a push to the upside from there. If we also break that to the downside, that's why I will just take 50% out of my trade, and the other 50% I'm going to save with break even. If we also break that to the downside, then we can drop down to 78,900 US dollar. I think they are essential to hold. We can get a bit lower, since the target of the rising wedge is the 77,700 US dollar. But I don't want to see a sustainable breakout. And the sustainable breakout means that we are on the higher time frame, 1 hour or 4 hours. Lower than that, close lower than that, retest it, and then get a follow through. If we get this, then I won't be bullish for Bitcoin anymore. Yeah, the follow through is going to be if the candle breaks out and close, we are getting the retest, and the follow through is a candle close lower than our breakout candle close. That is going to be a follow through. So if that is going to happen, then I would say, okay, Bitcoin might see that area where I have put my circle in it, this one here. And that was my target since weeks. So basically, for now, I don't see that we are going into that area. But we have to change our mind if certain levels break to the downside and give us the sign that we are going to get more selling pressure. So what I also want to show you is, because I want to go to Ethereum, but remember those numbers, please. We take the top from Bitcoin and go to the low, 3%. Let's head to Ethereum. We just take the top from here and put it to the low. It's 6%. So Ethereum is dropping twice as Bitcoin. So why do I say that? I still think I have put here a circle into a certain area where I would say there I would take profits for Ethereum between 1,530 US dollar to 1,515 US dollar. Let's get to Bitcoin real quick. So let's assume Ethereum is dropping twice as Bitcoin. And let's assume we would drop now to the 81,300 US dollar. That would get us 3.5% to the downside, so it would be 7% for Ethereum. And if we drop to 78,900 US dollar, then it would be 6.6%. So let's say, yeah, around about 13% for Ethereum. So what did we say? 7% and 13%. Right? Let me check again. Yeah, 7% and 13% for Ethereum. So if we look at Ethereum right now, and we just assume that Ethereum is going to drop twice as Bitcoin, then you can see that circle is already 5.5%. But we can expect 7% or even 12.5% or 13%. So if I take those numbers, then you can see that the circle I put here to take profits, I actually want to take it out. Because in that area, I don't want to take profits if Bitcoin breaks to the downside. If Bitcoin breaks to the downside, then I want to take profit a bit higher than 1,470 US dollar. Why a bit higher? Because that's support. And if I take my take profit order there, it might be possible that there is another guy who put his take profit order a bit above us, or his long entry, so he can be in the market for sure. It might be possible that we don't go exactly to the 1,470 US dollar just because someone else put his big order there, and we are going to jump from there instead of dropping to 1,470 US dollar. That's why I always take profits a bit higher than support. Yeah, I'm missing out maybe 0.1%, but I have a guaranteed take profit if we get to that support level. So I also want to show you, what if Bitcoin goes to 70k? What if from the current price to the downside, yeah, almost 15%. Let's say 15%. That would be 30% for Ethereum if Ethereum is dropping twice as much as Bitcoin. Let's see how we get that done. I think probably like this should be enough. 30% would get us to 1.1k. So it might be still possible because we also have many fair value gaps still to close. So I don't want to scare you with that. I think it's a good opportunity to get Ethereum because Bitcoin outperformed Ethereum by far lately. And the Bitcoin Ethereum valuation is very low at the moment. And what we have seen so far is if we get into a certain area of the Bitcoin Ethereum relation, then if Ethereum gets their breakouts, and I will talk about that tomorrow, about the Bitcoin Ethereum chart. If Ethereum is going to get a breakout, then Ethereum is going to outperform Bitcoin. Means if Bitcoin is going up 1%, Ethereum can even do 3%. Yeah, so that's why I think if Ethereum drops that much, that could be our last chance to buy Ethereum for the next push to the upside, which I think can easily go to 3k. That's the stage right now. Yeah, if we get more data, then we can be more precise. Yeah, so I want to talk about the chart structure of Ethereum. It's not looking good still. We had here a rising wedge. I even did my first short position here in that block because I thought, okay, we are going to break down because I've seen breakouts for other altcoins. Didn't happen. We broke to the upside. I even took a short trade here because I was thinking, okay, we had here resistance and we should get rejected. Didn't happen as well. And here I put another short trade in. So overall my average price for Ethereum is high at the moment. That means I'm currently, I think, break even. Yeah, I think my is somewhere here, my average price, and I'm in short. So basically I'm break even right now. But the whole structure of Ethereum, well, we had here a falling wedge, which is a bullish pattern, but we have that on the 8-hour chart. And the thing is with that, I also want to see an 8-hour candle close over that falling wedge, because if I zoom in, I can't put that trend line perfectly. Yeah? It looks maybe perfectly, but it won't be perfect. Same here, for example, I missed the touch point by a few dollars, but if we go even more down and down, then you can see that I missed here the point a bit as well. So basically that trend line isn't 100% perfect because I can't be precise with that. Yeah, keep that in mind. I'm not a computer, I'm a human being, and I can try to fix that a bit, but still it won't be perfect on the smaller time frame. On the smaller time frame we will have a difference of a few dollars. So that's why I want to see an 8-hour candle close over it with a retest. We don't even have to retest the falling wedge perfectly. Yeah, we can also use then support, and then we can get the push to the upside. Didn't happen so far. Yeah, we just had some 50 minutes candles over it, where we also have seen support, broke to the downside, retested it, got up again, got rejected, got up again, used it as support, broke to the downside, retested it. Yeah, so basically that's at the moment telling me nothing. Yeah, it can be in rejection, it can be a try to break it to the upside. I can't tell you that at the moment because I'm currently waiting for the 1,700 US dollar. If I see there a breakout, then I would be super bullish for Ethereum. So far we are still far away from that, and I think we need another low for Ethereum before we then break that green trend line to the upside. And even if we get down, for example, into the down trend line from the falling wedge, like this, for example, it's just an example, then we don't have to wait for Ethereum making a 30% pump to the upside to go into a long trade. We will find there better entries with lower prices, so we can take more profits to the upside. Yeah, that is my plan for Ethereum at the moment. Like I said, small recap. I think that Bitcoin and Ethereum or the other altcoins are going to have a pullback. In that pullback, it will get decided, are we going to get a new low by breaking structure to the downside, or are we getting good support and can get a nice push to the upside? And like I said, this won't be my take profit. 1,470 US dollar. Here would be my take profit, 50% at least out of the trade. And if we break that structure to the downside, then we can talk about more take profits or even increasing our position size in the future by having more bearish patterns, which then breaks to the downside. So I hope that I gave you some valuable information. Today is Sunday, so tomorrow would be very volatile. I would also be careful. I think next week it's getting decided where the market is going to go. And yeah, I would say have a nice day and see you tomorrow in the normal trading session. See you.